Tonight on Philly Sports Spotlight, after finally getting the official nod as the Eagles starting quarterback, can Michael Vick continue to master Chip Kelly's offense? Julius Erving has always been a legend in the eyes of Sixer fans, but it was on the playground courts of New York where the real legend of Dr. J was born. And with the college football season set to kick off this week, we'll get you to know the 2013 University of Delaware Fighting Blue Hens. Good evening and welcome once again to Philly Sports Spotlight. I'm Phil Anderson, folks. We are now just one preseason game away from the Eagles' regular season opener and the official start of the Chip Kelly era. And with that said, let's welcome to the show former Eagles tight end and Jersey Man magazine editor-in-chief, Ken Dunek. And Ken, boy, what a ride it's been for the Eagles since Andy Reid left to the opener, which is right around the corner. I mean, it's been unbelievable, hasn't it?
A lot of excitement. You bring in a guy like Chip Kelly, who's brought some innovation, and we're looking at a whole new regime here with the Eagles. Some offensive firepower. The defense does need some work, but we'll see where it goes.
Now, of course, Kelly's first task was to find out who his starting quarterback was going to be. Andy Reid left him two guys, and he drafted the third and brought in two others. After the first three preseason games, what you've seen so far, Michael Vick deserving of that job?
Well, I'm totally confused about the Eagles quarterback situation. Starting in the offseason when they reduced Vick's contract and made him a one-year deal. To me, that showed that they were going to prep one of the other two quarterbacks, Nick Foles or Matt Barkley, for the job. I think Vick has looked so good this preseason that it kind of forced their hand a bit, and they are now looking at making Michael Vick the starter, which he was named last week. And so we'll see where it goes. But to me, Michael Vick is still the same guy. He's a smaller, injury-prone quarterback that has trouble reading defenses, and it has been a turnover machine in the past. So I hope what we're seeing is the real deal, and this is the new Michael Vick.
All right, let's kind of put that all together in one thing, because we got some talking points we want to get to. And one of them is the offensive line right now. Looks like it could be good. We got a young kid out there protecting the blind side of a left-handed quarterback, which I understand is the only left-handed quarterback starter in the NFL, Michael Vick. Let's start with your talking point. Let's talk about the offensive line first. Of course, Vick got sacked the other night because I think that line saw some stuff they hadn't seen in the previous two games.
Yeah, don't be fooled by the first couple of preseason games. I mean, their teams are now going to show some stunts and blitzes, and they don't want to show too much in the preseason, but you have to practice it sometime. The Eagles' offensive line is much healthier than it was last year. We have Jason Peters back. We have Todd Harriman's back. And, of course, you've got the new guy, Lane Johnson, protecting Vick's blind side, which is a big job for a rookie because Michael Vick is the only left-handed starting quarterback in the NFL.
But you see here, well, in that video that we were showing you, that the Vick has said he's going to run more this year. He's going to be a smarter runner. He's going to run out of bounds. And there were a couple of times where the pocket collapsed on him because of what you were just talking about. And Vick decided to take off and picked up a good chunk, 15, 20 yards, stepped out of bounds. I mean, that's the smarter Michael Vick. You said he's still the same Michael Vick, but he says he's in the best shape that he's ever been in.
Well, he does look like he's in great shape. And I hope he does make this change. However, I don't know why Michael Vick would all of a sudden have the relevation to run smarter this year when he's had the opportunity.
I'll tell you why. You want
to
know why? You want to know why?
I'd love to know.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. You didn't hear this first. Here, he beat Shady McCoy in a 40-yard sprint in practice, so now he knows he still can run.
His athleticism has never been questioned.
Right.
His decision-making has, however.
Okay, and his decision-making also includes turnovers, which we're going to get to right now. We're going to see a turnover in a second, but 3 turnovers in the last preseason game against Jacksonville. 2 of them proved costly because they resulted in points for the other team. Let's start with Demaryius Johnson. Let's show that video of the punt return coming up right here. Your thoughts when you saw this happen?
Yeah, Johnson looks like he's got some quicks. Obviously, you cannot turn the ball over. I don't care if it's special teams, offense, or defense. You just cannot give the opposition the ball, especially in your end of the field. They had a problem with that last year in special teams and on offense, and we've got to correct that if the Eagles want to be competitive this season.
And here you see Michael doing what Michael does when he's not thinking, throwing off his back foot, which resulted in okay, a turnover, and then eventually a touchdown for Jacksonville.
Yeah, shades of yesterday again. I mean, Mike Vick has been known to do these types of things. And again, it's going to get more and more challenging for him because teams are going to throw more and more looks at him. And again, I said it earlier in the show, don't be too enthusiastic about the first couple preseason games because they're playing against vanilla defense.
Well, I was just head over heels as far as the first 2 preseason games were concerned. But anyway, what I wasn't head over heels about was the Eagles' defense, which looked horrible against the Patriots. Yeah. It's Tom Brady and the Patriots. But the last couple of games, there's been some spots where they've actually shined, starting with a guy they picked up in the offseason, a big outside linebacker, Connor Barwin.
Yeah, he made one of the most athletic interceptions I've seen in quite a while. And I was thinking back to the Eagles and the athletic linebackers that they have, and I really had to go back to Seth Joyner. Of course, Trotter was a good linebacker. I wouldn't say he was an over-athletic linebacker, but Connor Barwin here showed a really tremendous ability to adjust to the ball and keep it alive and make the catch. And we're going to need plays like that if we're going to succeed this season.
The corners look okay. They look better, right? Here's a couple of shots of the corners.
I actually thought the coverage, the corner coverage was pretty good. The safeties, however, still are a question mark.
Well, and we'll see that in this next play. This was the play where really they got exposed. This came right after the Vick interception, resulted in a 64-yard touchdown run. And what do you see from the safeties on that play?
Yeah, very poor angle there. The free safety has to take a better angle and make sure the running back doesn't get behind him. Again, safety was the Achilles heel of the Eagles' defense this year. I think they're still up in the air. You may even see a waiver wire move for another safety coming up here in the next week or so.
Well, this much we do know. The last preseason game is coming up in a couple of nights. You're going to wrap up against the Jets up at the new MetLife Stadium. Starters aren't going to play. They may play some guys at safety because they're still trying to look for that guy. As we move forward, is this team ready to start September 9th against the Redskins?
Yeah, I don't think this team is ready yet. I think you're going to see some changes, some waiver wire changes here in the last week, like I said. I do think, however, they have the core of talent to be able to compete in the NFC. And I don't think it's going to be a winning season. I'm looking at a 7-9 or 8-8 scenario, best case scenario. But hey, anything beats last year, and hopefully they'll be more fun to watch.
Well, I think they are going to be fun to watch. And listen, I just got to know, when you're not here bothering me, what is it you do in your real life?
Well, the most fun I have during the week is bothering you, but when I'm not here, I am the publisher of Jersey Man magazine. You see Chip Kelly on our new cover that's hitting the streets right now. If you like football, sports, entertainment, martinis, cigars, check out jerseymanmagazine.com.
It's so weird to see him on the cover of any magazine. As you know, Chip is a former classmate of mine, so I wish him well this year, and I think he's gonna make Eagle fans smile, but he'll also have them pulling their hair out too. Ken, thank you once again.
Good to be here.
Okay, we'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you soon, all right? All right, are you ready for this week's trivia question? I know you are, because you love these trivia questions. In their storied history, the Philadelphia Eagles have never lost a regular season game to the Jets. They're a perfect 9-0. Can you name the only other team that has never beaten the Birds? The answer coming up a little bit later on in the show. Also still to come.
Here we have first-year head coach, Dave Brock. Well, I call him Coach Brock. I don't really get to call him Dave too much. So we're just going to, kind of chop at him a little bit, see what we got for him, so we see if he can show that sense of humor he always shows.
Great time. Big Zach Kerr. We're going to meet the University of Delaware football team as they get set for their season opener Thursday night.